Hi world, it's Wednesday, it's the 8th of October 2020, it's about 1 p.m. UK time. And we're heading into Mercury retrograde. Now as I speak, Mercury in the sky is at 9 degrees of Scorpio. It is precisely opposite Uranus today. It stands still in about 5 or 6 days time and starts going retrograde. But in the next 5 or 6 days, it's going to move about another 1.5, possibly 2 degrees. It is slowing down, getting ready to station. Now, we've been in what's called Mercury retrograde shadow since maybe the 23rd, 24th of September. And it would be appropriate to say that anything and everything that's happened both personally and globally since the 23rd, 24th of September. This is only the opening salvos, and there are a lot of developments yet to come in the coming few weeks which are going to change scenarios. But now we're in the second phase of the first Mercury retrograde shadow, where Mercury is standing still. And over the next, from basically now, for the next 14 days, Mercury is hardly going to move against the backdrop of the stars in the skies behind it. It's not going to move from east to west. It will move from north to south as it sinks in declination. But it's not going to move in terms of distance, east or west, or left or right, depending on which way you're looking at it. Mercury is stationing for the next 2 weeks. We're going forward for the next 6 days, standing still, then going backwards for a week, but all the time between 9 and 11 degrees of Scorpio, and all the time opposite Uranus. So effectively, we're in a 2-week-long opposition of Mercury to Uranus, which when you see it in an astrological chart gives the impression of someone who's a very radical and fast thinker, someone who thinks outside the box, comes up with unusual solutions to old ideas, is a troubleshooter and a problem solver. And when Mercury is opposite Uranus in the sky, which normally lasts for somewhere between 24 to 48 hours once a year, it's a time where there's often quite sudden, spontaneous statements or decisions which are seemingly a little bit out of kilter or a little bit out of the norm. But now Mercury's opposite for Uranus for 2 weeks, and we are in silly season. There is so much hype and spin out there at the moment. It doesn't help, of course, that Mars in the sky will be precisely square Pluto in the next couple of days. And as previously forecast, October is one of those months where everything that can go wrong is going wrong, and you really shouldn't believe everything you're being told at the moment. Now, at a personal level, I'm not suggesting that anyone is being deliberately lied to, but I am suggesting that we're not getting the whole picture. And there may be a degree of, or a lack of transparency, or a degree of opaqueness about some of the information that's coming out, whether that's at a personal or a global level. And the thing is, once Mercury starts going retrograde, and the precise time of this will be at not 10:15 GMT, 11:15 UK time, PM, on the, when is it? October. Right, here we go. I got that wrong, incidentally, completely wrong. Forget that last bit. It's going to go retrograde at 1 AM GMT, 2 AM UK time on Monday, the 14th of September. So adjust your time zones for that. And then Mercury's retrograde, and it stops going retrograde, and this is the fascinating bit from my astrological perspective. It stops going retrograde in early November at quarter to 6 in the evening on the 3rd of November, on a Tuesday the 3rd of November, which globally is a really important time, of course, coming less than 24 hours before people vote in America for the election. So it's a confusing time. It's a time where there's so much random, different information. It's a time where the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing or saying. It's a time where black is white and white is black, where left is right and vice versa. And it's a time where a lot of people are getting angry at anything and everything that anyone else says or does. Truly, at the moment, we live on one planet in 7 billion different worlds. And it isn't going to get any easier anytime soon. In fact, in the very short term, it's likely to get worse. And by the very short term, I mean the next 4, 5, 6 days. The amount of rhetoric that's coming out is going to get worse before it gets better. But once Mercury is actually retrograde in 6 days, 7 days from now, then we're going to start seeing battle lines being drawn. And we're going to start being able not to make sense of situations or to be clear about what's going on, but to start realising how we as individuals feel about things. And once Mercury starts moving forward, we will be beginning to be able to make our minds up. Although Mercury will not clear its retrograde shadow completely until about Friday the 20th of November. So, there's certain individuals who are getting really hammered by this. Primarily, but not exclusively, it's those people on the one hand between the 15th of April through to the 1st of May who are on the receiving end from other people of a lot of uncertainty, disagreement or verbal conflict, and also those people born from about the 18th of October through to the 3rd of November, whom this is a really confusing, nebulous and uncertain time for. But it is going to resonate into everyone's lives. And standard Mercury retrograde rules apply, as in posts will get delayed, phone calls will get missed, emails will get lost. And because Mercury is opposite Uranus, which deals a lot, these are the two planets of communication. Mercury is lower communication. It deals with the mind, the intellect, the speech, the daily travel, the commute. Uranus deals with higher communication, space travel, internet, electronic media. And with these two opposite for a couple of weeks, you can expect a number of media outrages. Computers will break down. Hope you've got a spare one. Servers may go offline, and there's going to be a lot of uncertainty around the reliability of technology over the coming couple of weeks. It is a temporary phase. And actually, I want to get this across to everyone. This year's it's messy, and it's denting even the most resolute person's confidence. This is not the new normal. We're never going to go back to the way it was, right? But this is not the new normal. And it's pretty clear signs to me that by the time we're into the early new year, the new normal is in place and it is going to be a lot calmer. And in the vast majority of individual charts that I'm doing at the moment, by the time we're into late December, early January, 85% of people, I'm saying to them, look, next year is going to be a much better year for you individually. So the knock-on effect to this globally is actually pretty good. But in the meantime, we're into the craziest time of 2020. Mercury's retrograde. Mars is squaring Pluto in the next couple of days. It'll be squaring Jupiter in a few weeks. We've got a killer new moon coming up in about 9 days' time. And then there's that massive new moon, full moon, precisely conjunct Uranus on the 31st of October. What crazy times we live in. And we're going to look back in years to come at October 2020, and we're going to collectively go, were we mad? But in the meantime, we're in the middle of it. So don't lose it. Keep your perspective. Find the humour, even through the tears, and know that this time will pass. And that in 3 to 4 weeks from now, 3.5 weeks from now, we're all going to breathe a sigh of relief and go, now we can begin to see how the future is going to develop. Take care of yourselves. Take it easy. Don't beat yourself up, and take a deep breath before making any type of large decision. It's Mercury retrograde, folks. Catch you later, world. Bye.